Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, this is going to be a fairly low, low down stream. It's literally almost 11, and I don't feel like starting anything grandiose. So, what can we do? Let's figure out this whole shenanigans with the environment node. Dear God, this is actually, you know what? As a little warm up, why don't we do some ruined stone texture? Okay, just to get the ball rolling. That should be fairly simple. The land is feeling kind of barren. Not a whole lot happening here. We have navigation node that was destroyed because there's no such thing as navigation. It has been stripped and replaced with something new. All right. Let's see here. Let's grab a brush that looks a little bit more interesting than just the basic one. Are we gonna have pen pressure? No, no pen pressure for us, apparently. Don't deserve it. Pen pressure is for the good boys. Okay, we're gonna put together a quick texture for stone ruins. And this is going to be a tileable texture, so we can create whatever kind of ruins with whatever kind of shapes. And just use this one texture to decorate it all. Okay. Now we got pen pressure. All right. Okay. Can I dock this in a way that's going to be a little bit more friendly? Do we have a preset for this? Yeah, we do. Okay. Nice. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening with this one. I'm pretty sure those triangles are not supposed to be there. These are watercolors. They're meant to interact with existing paint strokes. Okay. All of these are really, really repeatable. And also very pixelated. Hmm. That's cool. All right. How much is this texture going to be repeating? Let me actually look something up here. Let's take a look. Mayan brick wall. Okay, so we're looking at this or something that's irregular. Something that's more rectangular, even. Even Steven. Oh, look at that dude. So we're probably looking for something that's a little bit taller. Hmm. Let's see if we can mask it out. Hide the fact that we stretched it. Okay, and I don't really know how much we want it to be um, uneven. Uneven, Steven. It's late, man. I bet folks weren't expecting that I was going to start a stream at this point. Oh, think again. You know, it's really weird. When I'm thinking, should I start a stream? It was kind of late. I just finished playing Amnesia Rebirth. Fantastic game. And I was kind of thinking, maybe I should work on one of my projects. But it's kind of late, and then you're in that state where like, if I start a stream now, I have to commit at least like an hour to it. But once you actually do start, you're like, okay, all right, that's fine. No big deal. Okay. Well, there's that carpal tunnel. You're intensely focusing on filling in the little tiny cracks. Your wrist goes. And yes, I'm paraphrasing. Okay. Would this be all right? Now, a nice little trick I've learned that we can do is we can have some of the stones be darker like this. Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. This brush does like a mid-tone gray if you press very gently. Huh. Okay, that's fine. It's not what I wanted. We do need some color change here. Okay, so we'll do something like this. Which is going to make some of these stones look like they're recessed into the wall. And we are going to place a shadow. Hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this. Assets, textures, patterns. I'll just save it here. So this is stone wall. Okay. Now the presence of the shaded part is going to mean that when we UV map and texture our stone walls using this texture, we do have to keep in mind the orientation. Go. Hey, hey, Vishal. Okay. Nice. All right. Now let's see about that highlight. I think with the highlight we need overlay or screen. Screen. Okay. Maybe there's a pattern that we can use. Hold on a sec. Can I do this? Maybe. I don't think this looks better. Okay, not bad. I was a little skeptical about this. This could very well work out. Okay. And of course, we need some nice inky touches. Maybe we should use this brush because then the pressure can control not just the thickness but also the brightness. Go. Just gonna add a couple of places where the outline mimics the highlight or the shadow. Okay, and just gonna have a couple places where it's just black. Cool. What else can we do? Okay, little drops of dirt. Sure. All right, that should be good. Let's get this. Whoa, let's not merge it into one. Don't want to do that. Gotta be careful. Engine textures. PNG. Well, this could be a JPEG, to be honest. Painted textures. Hey, nice. Okay. Okay, we don't need this. And once I make a couple of tester pieces of geometry, we're gonna pop back and take a look at that environment nonsense. Okay. that is what I'm sort of thinking. Hmm. So this is where we may or may not have to unwrap. Okay. Oh, yeah, no wonder that looked a little off. Hey, evening. No, that's gonna ruin it. All right, cool. To be honest, it turned out a little Minecrafty. Hmm. What if I want to make something a bit less house looking. Seam. I don't know if I really need all these. Maybe if I model the bottom as well, I can flip it upside down. Nope, no I can't, because the lighting and shadow is baked into the texture. So, nope, it's not gonna work. Okay, but that's the idea. Okay, and then if we want it to be seamless, we actually have to scale up until it meets the very edge over here. And then we can scale it twice. Because it's twice, it just doubles the amount of space on the UV. So it should still be seamless. Okay. Now, what do we do with the rest of this? It's beautiful. I love it. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, that sort of works. Nice. All right, let's save this. Child Ether, assets, models, locations. And this would be ruins. Yeah, sure, let's call it ruins. Which realistically, we don't need a whole entire folder for one blend file. Okay. And I'm just going to export this one object. Engine models, locations, ruins. We are going to have multiple pieces afterwards. Selections only. And then we're going to call it here as well. Okay. Static body. Oh, well, that's lovely. Not exactly what I need. It exported the damn material. Be gone. Okay. And now we want our own material. Although realistically, do we? What is going to be so special about this? Okay. Objects. Models. No. This would be locations. Okay. So this would be Alright, I am officially caught up on all the Amnesia games. I finished The Bunker last week, and then today I finished Rebirth. And holy crap, what an amazing game. I love this story. The amount of gameplay, the locations, just the whole the whole story stretched out over such a vast land of locations and puzzles that it honestly felt it was about, I'd say, about 5 times as big as Amnesia the Bunker. I'm not sure. Maybe Amnesia the Bunker was made during COVID times, so budget wasn't exactly um, as permissive. But yeah, Rebirth, they went all in. What a fantastic game. Okay. Locations, ruins, pillar. Just gonna place a node 3D here. And this is ruins. Oh, come on. Oh, it's nested inside. Didn't even notice that. Okay, and then this is dev TP teleporter location. I'm gonna call it ruins. And let's make sure that it's not in the middle of the ground. As a matter of fact, the whole ruins thing should not be in the middle of the ground. Okay, and then we gotta make sure we generate collision. should do it. Well, you see, we do have the ability to walk on top of some of them, so maybe this is where tri-mesh collisions would be perfect. It is just a cube. In a nutshell, a series of cubes. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, cool. Uh-huh. We teleported and crashed. Now, right, we moved the code. This used to be inside of the player, but now it's inside of its own dedicated developer panel. So we have to get the player. Get first node in group. Player group. Now, I know that we have a standard, but I don't know if the standard for group names was established when I started working on this. Oh, yep, perfect. Okay, first node, player, and then we're going to tell the player to teleport there. Nice. Maybe this way we can place it right on the ground and not worry about lifting it up every time. If it was correct. Beautiful. We still have a problem with us going uphill. So you know what I'm going to do? Let's double check that. Let's go to the developer panel. And we're going to make another node, which is going to be player velocity. Maybe this will help us figure out what's wrong. Because I can't go uphill. Yep. It's not really pushing us down. Our collision shape is a capsule. It's 1.5 meters in height, so it's actually very close to normal size. Slide on ceiling. Huh. Could somebody remind me what is the option to disable shader output in the console? Oh man, this thing's driving me nuts. Can't go uphill. We need to figure out elevation. Okay, I guess that's gonna be the thing we'll solve today. We have a raycast. That's a camera raycast, which, by the way, could always use a spring arm instead of that. Ground. This is for checking the ground, but is there any code that is involved with it? It's not a ground. Staircase. We apply gravity. But we apply gravity to movement. Set velocity. So what if we do this? What if instead of movement, we just talk to velocity right away? Because I think it might be getting cleared at some point, and that's why our developer panel doesn't really represent the real movement. Whole word only, please. Movement. Okay, let's try this. We're going to replace movement with velocity, the built-in property. That's a comment. Velocity. And now we don't need to set velocity with velocity because that's what we just did. All right. Let's see. So before with Godot 3, we didn't have a dedicated velocity property. Fascinating. I thought I fixed you. Save it. Something that I also want to do, I was looking at some of the older screenshots, and the way I handled night was by making various environmental changes that use predominantly blue instead of black. And I ended up regressing back into using full black. That's not really what I wanna do. Okay, that did literally nothing. Okay. That's fine. So, let's do another raycast. Okay, this is going to be elevation ray. We are going to place it where are we placing it? -10, which moves down. Let's do 5 actually. I think that's going to be plenty for elevation. Maybe even 3. Okay. Okay. And then it's going to go -2 down to the feet. I'm going to enable visible collision shapes for the time being. And we're gonna detect. We're gonna offset it first in the direction where we're moving. We have velocity x and velocity z. Technically, we need these things. So, position is going to be equals to vector 3. It is going to be velocity x, and then 1, velocity is z. So the raycast is always going to be in the location where we're about to go. Like that. Now technically that's a little bit far. So let's do velocity x. We need to normalize it. Var normalize velocity. Velocity.normalize. That's going to remove any speed and only keep the direction. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure why we couldn't drop off that edge, but okay. So, it seems to be good. And what we need to do, we need to detect where does it hit. And we need to check the difference between where it hits and where the character's feet are. And if that elevation is within, say, maybe 0.3, then that would constitute an allowance to elevate. So we're going to push it up. Okay. We need to know where the point is. Let's try and minimize the amount of calculations we have to do. Let's do a node 3D. Put level. Place it right here. That's the edge of the collision shape capsule, player's capsule. So what are we going to do? We're going to take put level, global position on the y-axis. If we're going to subtract the ray get collision point on the y-axis, what is the difference? If we want to be able to print it, we might want to make this to a variable. So 529 is the line of code. Okay. This is the calculation. And now let's go to Dev panel. Slope. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to set it to 0, and we need to check if the ray is colliding. Only if it's colliding, it's going to update it. Oh, and we crash. For what reason? Nobody knows. String and float. Oh, eat my something. Okay, so slope right now is... Well, we're on the flat ground, so... Come on. Let me fall. Alright. So that right there, the slope, when it goes up, it's a negative value. When it goes down, it's a positive value. So as long as it's less than -3, I think we should allow the player to rise. If less than -0.3, not 3. 3 is a lot. Velocity on the y-axis minus, I guess, equals -1. Let's see. Hopefully we're not going to magic carpet ourselves out of here. Not really. And I think that might have something to do with gravity. Because we reset... Yeah, there you go. We set gravity to 0 if the ground is colliding. And I think that's the problem. That's preventing us from going up the slope. Which means we may not actually even need the elevation code. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Is that why we had it? Oh, hold on a sec. If we are not touching the ground, apply gravity. Otherwise, if we are falling down, velocity on the y is above 0. We set it to 0. So if we're trying to go up, velocity wouldn't be going. Huh. Okay, I think that might actually be a problem. If it's less than 0. If we're trying to push ourselves down. Okay, so interesting. I think the raycast is not a good way to check for ground. And then we have this right here. Instead of a raycast, should probably be a shapecast. Let me disable this entire thing entirely. Entire thing entirely. Nice English. Right. What are we testing for? Nothing. Okay. What if we're gonna rely on the built-in functions? If not is on floor. Oh, Is on wall only, is on floor only. That's interesting. Okay, so if it's not on the floor, and then if the staircase is 0, then we apply gravity. Okay, that's better. We still can't go up the slope. Oh, that's not gonna work. And now this doesn't work. Because it just keeps going down. Hmm. We subtract from velocity to make it go down. So this was just pushing us down even further. We need to make it go up. This is just stupid. Okay. Oh. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Let's add +1. Oh, I mean, that's almost there. We got that issue. Yeah, that was gonna happen. Up direction. Up direction is -1? Up direction is +1. Did I goof that up? Maybe that's why it wasn't working. Well, it doesn't seem like anything has changed. Okay, I'll keep that there. Stop on slope, we're gonna disable that. Block on wall. Okay, some of these properties have pretty much been exposed in the inspector, so we don't have to have the lines of code that change them. And then, do we have any other places that mess around with velocity on the y-axis? Jump speed. Jump speed depends on us pressing jump and we're in the water, or let's not use the raycast. Let's just check is on floor. Let's try that. Maybe the raycast is just too short. Or we gotta use a shape cast. Oh, that's... Maybe we can make it only do that if the velocity is actually trying to be something. Or if we're trying to move, which, to be honest, we should probably just use a button press check. Which is where? Target direction. Calculate direction for motion. This is a really old movement system. This was before I was even remotely comfortable with working with vectors. I figured out the direction of movement by offsetting an orb and then calculating a direction from the center of the player to that orb, and that becomes my movement direction. When the slope is straight up. It's not really perceptibly straight up. Where are my movement keys? Oh God. Right. Movement. Move B. By geometry of terrain, I mean, yeah, that's, again, I haven't seen any 90-degree elevations. Opinion on Godot. Where has it been all my life? When I was wasting my time with Game Maker Studio. Okay. So, velocity, where do we do that? There we go. I'm gonna do if int. Actually, let's do that. If this, or forward, or left, or right. If I'm going to be using this, we might just make a variable called moving, and if any one of those keys is pressed, moving becomes true. Okay, this is important. Yeah, that does not look like a 90 degrees. We did say max angle 45. Let's go 60? It's like that. That little nut, it's literally the same exact angle. But then again, it does drop beneath 0.2 or 0.3, so that's probably why it doesn't work. This goes negative 0.15. Oh, Godot. You know, looks pretty good. Somebody made a Godot plushie, and I must admit, not a fan of the arms and legs. I was actually looking at seeing if I could do something like that. Would have cost not too much. I'm pretty sure I would be able to break even. But it's just the arms and legs, like, not really, not fun. That is really weird, man. It's going up literally any hill. Let's see. What if it's less than 0.0? Just any hill. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, that seems a little optimistic. Maybe he thinks I'm touching a wall. It's very jittery too. Splash screens for Child of Ether and Dreadtail. Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't have to do this. And even if we are doing this, it's not even great. Put level, elevation, point and click ray. Ground. Seems like we're not really using it anywhere else. And now we're just not using it at all. So there's no point for the ground ray to even exist. Get rid of that. Planning on placing any Easter eggs? Yeah, hopefully. Oh. What's this? Set up direction is still being set as a negative value. Oh, that was the porting code. Great. Okay, so anything I was changing in the inspector was actually not being applied. And for some reason, down was the up direction. Oh, man. There it is. What the shit? It was the Godot porting process all over. That's what's been screwing this up. Oh, man. Come on, man. Really? Why do you gotta toss a turd like my way? God damn it. It's the porting from Godot 3 to Godot 4. All of the settings like stop on slope, up direction being down for whatever reason. You know, up is down apparently. Um, everything. Everything was just being reset. So that was fun. Okay, get rid of that. Cool. We got this sorted out. Now, why don't we take a look at the thing that I actually wanted to take a look at, which is getting rid of this blue everywhere. I mean, I like blue, but that's just too much blue. Okay, I'm just going to disable the fog for now. Can't wait for Godot 3 or 4.3, where we can finally get back our fog start and fog end properties. That's going to be fun. Okay. Grass multi-mesh. It's in release candidate 1. Yup. Somebody said that's coming out like the clean release is coming out next week. Or is it release candidate 1 that's coming out next week? Where's my grass multi-mesh? This is a scene, right? It is a scene, and it is called multi-mesh auto placer. Okay. All right. Now, this has a multi-mesh. Oh, that's not good. This should not have a multi-mesh. Unless it is... Hmm. It does make a new multi-mesh, so that's good. Okay. Let's hope that should be okay. Scatter. Uses custom data is true. There's no point in random rotation. Interesting. And then we can't change the amount for some reason. Seed value, scatter, scale range. Well, that's weird. I would imagine that... What do we have to make unique? We do have to make unique. Shouldn't miss so much of a pain porting to 4.3. You're talking about porting old projects or porting the fog begin and end properties to 4.3? Because evidence is there. Okay. So first things first. Where's my directional light? And why is it not casting any shadows? There's the energy. Shadows are enabled. Some things are casting light. Not everything. Well, this grass is not casting light. Casting shadows, I should say. Mesh. Let's go here. Cast shadows is set to on. Interesting. That's cool. Just toggling things, see what happens. Interesting. So how come we don't have any shadows on this? This has to be alpha scissor. Hmm. Oh. Okay. So what, our ground? No, the ground does take shadows. Just doesn't take all of them. I think the trees in particular. Huh. The trees don't cast shadows either. Hmm. Okay, let me double check something. So let's assume we're just gonna grab ourselves a Sprite 3D. Wait, hold on a second. Is this enabled? Alpha cut, billboard. Shaded, cast shadows off. Okay, well, there's our shadows. And the problem is that they start getting self-shadowed. Okay. Now we could technically solve this. Double-sided shadows only. We could have two sprites. One of them is only producing shadows. So we don't need this. Oh, we already have that solution. Shadows only. So it's just another sprite 3D, which means this guy should be not casting any shadows. Oh, don't need to run. Go away. Okay. And then you can see that there's a conflict. Hmm. So, what? Should it also not receive shadows? But that's done in the material. So now we're back to this problem. We could place the shadow just behind the tree. And we could program it to always be positioned behind the tree based on our camera. Because I do like the shadows. I do like when the tree casts shadow. Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to the trees afterwards. Let's figure out the grass. Why does the grass not cast shadows? Might have something to do with the fact that it's a multi-mesh with billboard view enabled. Love it. The fragment shader dies. Maybe this is not even the right grass. Hold on a second. Uh-huh. So it toggles shadow only, and it goofs up, derps out. Hmm. Okay. That's fine. We'll explore that later. I gotta say, there's a particular problem with the environment node, and it's the fact that the fog does not seem to affect the sky. Let me disable visible collision shapes. Let's see. So we have a solid background color. No, it does. It does. Hmm. Hmm. Excuse me. Oh, jeez, I have a clip on my mic stand. That's why there's a knocking sound. Uh, Man, I gotta say, it's convenient that we can blend between multiple environments, but it's not very convenient that we have to go into the code to change all of this. Ambient light energy. We might want to tone that down. Okay, we can't really be adjusting stuff in real time because once again, we have an active piece of code that is adjusting all of our properties. Maybe I'm just severely overthinking this. I've got this whole system where I'm averaging a whole bunch of fog values. Maybe it doesn't have to be anywhere near that complex. It would certainly be cool if you can have multiple fogs. Like quite literally, multiple fogs. You have your standard fog for the day and night cycle. If you want it to be a special type of night, a very dark night, then you just add a second fog. And it compounds with the first one. We can't have multiple environment nodes. We can have a second volumetric fog, but that's performance heavy. Okay. Why don't we do this? var update environment values. It's going to be true. And then we're going to go in the process environment fog enabled. Adjustment saturation. I have no idea what the scheisse that is. Okay. So if this happens, we return. Now, this should just be a dictionary. Environment day cycle values. This should not exist here. It can, but shouldn't. Should exist here. Now, we have a variable called update env values. We're going to go to the developer panel, and we're going to give ourselves an ability to adjust these properties. Let's add a checkbox. Update environment values. It will be on by default. Let's get ourselves a signal, toggle. It will go into environment panel. And then global environment. This variable is going to assume the value of update environment values. Okay, so I should be able to now disable this, the updating. I think I did. If I enable it and set it to 2, and do night. No. Dusk. Dawn. I think it's the fog. Volumetric fog? No, that's disabled. What? Uh-oh. Damn it. I think I just closed Godot. Did I? Cancel. Save. I disabled the fog. Oh my god. Yeah. We can't actually do that. Damn it. We can't do that because we have the whole system of the environment node being exported to a separate singleton. Hmm. Now that means we can't really visually experiment with the environment node and all of its values in the editor. God damn it, man. That's not really worth it. You know what we should do? We should get rid of this environment. We should give each level its own environment. And then we can say, and then we can experiment with it. And in this code here, we're just going to be messing around with a select set of values. Because I got a problem. I tend to over-engineer and over-modulate everything, regardless if I actually even need that much level of control. It's a bit of a problem. Okay, so let's do it. Sure. Get rid of the environment. And then here, instead of talking to the env variable, we're going to get ourselves env node, replace all. Env node is going to be a variable, and in the process function, we're going to do if env node is null or env node is instance valid not, which means we transfer to a different level. We're going to get the environment node, so get tree, get nodes in group, environment group. As a matter of fact, we need to only get the first node in group. Get first node in group, environment group. And that's it. Okay. If environment is null or we're not in the game, we're in the menu, it will return. And then this variable has to exist up here. Okay, this might anger the whole system. Sure hope it isn't too bad. Okay. I expected as much. Base null instance. Fog distance array. Invalid get environment. Okay, this is the dev panel. And then we're going to do the following. Fog end. There's no fog end. This is just fog density. So we'll just work like that. It still might crash because there's no environment at the beginning. Yup. Environment base null instance, which is this. Yep. Okay. we are just gonna have to do this. Fog and compound. And then we're gonna add to it if okay, let's not goof this up. Here we go. This is what we're gonna add. Just this part. And then if okay, I goofed it up. Env node does not equals null and is instance valid. Then we'll allow to add to it an additional piece of information. Nice. Okay, so with that said, day, dusk. And then that's the speed of transition. Night does nothing. Day, dawn, yeah, there's literally nothing. Ah, right. You know what? It would be smart if I were to actually add the environment node to the group that I told it would be inside of. That would be what a smart person does. Uh-oh. God damn it. Oh, we're back. Save. Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, now we're dealing with something. It actually fetched the environment node. Is instance ID valid? No. I just need is instance valid. Okay. So dusk, if I change the speed, should be a lot faster than that. Night, dawn. Okay, so that tells me that the speed adjuster does not actually do squat. Okay, and Godot has crashed, so let's restart that. Or it didn't really crash, it quiet quit. There we go. Failed to load script. Zillion scatter. Tool palette. Yeah, well, we're not using the Zillion scatter. Okay. Let's take a look here. Day and night trans speed does not update anything. No wonder it did not work. Fascinating. Yeah, there's only 2 mentions of this thing here. Maybe the dev panel used to have more. Nope. All right. Dusk. Yes. Day, dusk, night. Interesting. It's like a bendy and ink machine. Do we not have any soundtracks for the nighttime? I suppose we don't, because it refuses to stop the dusk soundtrack. Zone ambiances. No, we have a night one. What the heck? And it does send a bind of night. Weird. Dawn, dusk. Day-night transition soundtracks. Okay, when I click this, it executes set time of day. That receives time of day. Daytime changed. Night, we see that here. And then it starts the new timer. And then it checks for this. Print has OSTs launching. Has time of day soundtracks launching. I think the night soundtrack was actually a placeholder I downloaded from Zapsplat, and I might have stripped it out. Now it says has Dawn OSTs launching, and I hear something. What the heck? Oh, that's Dawn. Interesting how it didn't kick in right away. Night. Daytime changed night, and it didn't start anything. That's weird. Oh, because it's day-night transition soundtracks. Right. Which makes sense, because these are stem soundtracks. They play once, and then that's it. Okay, fair enough. Now, let's get back to business. To defeat the Huns. So, we're gonna do night. We're gonna speed it up. Transitions. We're gonna disable updating for values. And now, we should have free reign over these properties. We might not. And I think that's because we still have a piece of code that overrides the environment. Yep, interior, exterior environment. Okay, we might want to not do this. As a matter of fact, we might want to say, or if we are in the interior, we don't run any of this stuff. Environment fog enabled. We don't need to enable this. All right. That's daytime. A lot less blue. Let's do nighttime. Stop updating. Okay. We can at least see this. Yeah, see, that's what I hate. We have immediate blue over everything. This is where the density start and density end would be perfectly suitable. Hmm. Believe we need to rerun the game in order to be able to see screen space ambient occlusion. Screen space reflections. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Now, the fact that this doesn't do anything is a little weird. Ambient light. Ambient light energy. Okay, so this is located down here. We don't actually need this because we already do it here. Oh, you know what? That is actually the sun. That's what's causing this. Whoops. Directional light. Oh, yes. Well, that's much nicer. Okay. I'm going to copy these two properties. And we need to define them within the environment. Okay, so this is sun color. And then sun energy. Hey. and this is nighttime. Okay. Let's take a look at what the daytime should be. Okay. So day. Okay, what about dusk? Dawn. Why does the ambient light not do anything? This is really weird. It shouldn't be updating. And yet, I can't change the ambient light. I can change the background and how much it contributes to the environment. What if we go with a sky? New sky, and then we're going to go physical material sky. Might have to reload the game. Ooh. Okay. So if we look at it here, ambient light sky contribution. Ah, that's the problem. Got it. Okay. So we had sky contribution, and that was contributing to the total light of the ambient color. Interesting. Okay, let's not do that. We're not quite going down that route yet. It's a bit much. I think a lot of these issues are spanning from the fact that I went nuts on some properties a while back. Okay, so now this should be daytime. A lot of these properties are meant to be wielded with subtlety, which is usually the complete opposite of what I was doing. I would usually bulldoze the value into the max just to see what it does and just leave it there. Okay. We're in day right now, which means the sun. Right. We haven't programmed the sun to transition. Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, that happens too. The music just cuts out. The ambiance. If sun node is null or not a valid instance, sun node would have to become a valid instance. So in my infinite wisdom of trying to make it so that I have to do the least amount of work by making the environment one single node in the singleton, I have signed myself up for so much extra work that it rendered the entire endeavor completely null and void. Don't you love these kinds of rakes you gotta step on to learn? Love it. Gotta love it. Okay, sun node. That's good. Fade duration. That is for time of day. That's for audio. Transition speed is what we need to be using. All right. If sun node is not null and is instance valid, I'm going to talk to the directional light, energy, and color. Is it actually called color? It is called light color, you deceiving bitch. We're going to lerp this color with something. We're going to do 1 divided by transition speed. Because otherwise we usually use this smooth transitioning formula, but I don't think we can do that with color. We have to do interpolation. Color has its own lerp function, or blend, but that's not really what we want. We can clamp a color, that's neat. Lerp, there we go. Okay. And now, sun node energy. Light energy. This one we can't smooth transition with a standard formula. And then we're just going to divide it by transition speed. And now, proper key value pairs. Sun color, sun energy. Yes. So I think to not make it overcomplicated, if we have rainy, we're just going to do rainy day and day, or rainy night and night. There's just going to be two different types of environment keys. Okay, now, sun node, invalid type of utility function is instance. Man, can you autocomplete the thing that I want, you son of a gun? You know what I want. I've been using it all over the entire script. I feel like Godot developers should implement some sort of a most likely function to be used in certain cases. You know, if I'm adding a node and I'm typing collision, I'm not adding collision ray thingamajig, I'm probably adding a collision shape. Make that be the top choice. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be day. Good. Dusk. Night. Not bad. Okay. Now we do want to adjust the night though. Shadows look really nice. But what is this? It's directional light, which I think we already changed. Yes. Change that back. Ambient color. Okay, what are we gonna do with you? We can go purple for those. That would give it a nice look. Usually you go purple when you've gotten so blue there's no other way to go to make it even more blue. Okay, so let's go night. This is ambient light. Ambient light color. Okay, not bad. What else can we do here? You know, this works. Not sure what's happening with the light here. It's a little strange. Actually, This is a special light. We need to make sure that it's always in front of the player. That's probably what's happening here. Okay. So what did we end up changing? Density and color, I think. I'm not sure why fog color is called light color. Interesting. And then density. Density? Hello? There's no density. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna keep it the same all around for the time being. Fog density. Fog and fog density. Ah, I feel like that should have crashed. Fog and compound. Ah, right. This is the issue. We were averaging the fog amount. We don't want to do that anymore, do we? No. We're just going to use the fog density key. Which means we don't need any of this stuff. That's a little easier to look at. Alrighty. Oof. What the shit? Oh. I just pressed the spacebar to jump and it switched to a different day night. Okay. Cool. Well, that seems to work. We can fine-tune these values later, but at least now we have the ability to mess around with these properties in the editor. Now, this does mean that for every level that we put together, we need to make sure that there's a directional light and the world environment node. Nothing new, really. That should be fine. Cool. Now, did we actually achieve anything meaningful today? Debatable. I did port the developer tools. So now it's a separate node, and if we need to get rid of it, we can just disable it. As a matter of fact, doing that should be as simple as checking if the game is being run from the editor or being run as a standalone application, and then just queuing free the node. Or we could do some launch flags. That works. Okay, well, not bad. 2 hours and 20 minutes to refactor our environment stuff. Oh well, it is what it is. God, we have so many things that we need to fix. You know, there's a particular challenge I have to sort out, and it's the fact that my initial idea for craftables was to make the ingredients be totally random. So when you're doing, let's say, your distillery stuff, the ingredients that are required to create one type of, let's say, healing potion would be totally random between all the players' games. The problem with that is, what if to make some really powerful potion, you end up randomly assigned the easiest to procure ingredients, and then someone else's game, you would get like a very powerful potion that is only procured by going to this very particular area and getting the ingredients from there. Now, fair or unfair, I don't really care. Is it interesting? Is it, well, maybe, yeah, is it fair? Slate, man. There's got to be a balance between fairness and interesting. Making it random will definitely boost the replay value. Hmm. Also, what's with the ambience cutting out in the middle of playback? Zone ambience is leafy wind. Loop enable. Jeez, that's loud. That's a little awkward. Everything being in the shadow on this side. Come on now. Probably have to relaunch it. I guess without the actual texture, it's not going to do much. That's not going to do much anyways, so... Transmission. Transmittance. That's what we want. Okay. That a reflection? What the heck is that? Okay, well, that's fine. Cool. So we did something. I don't think anything that we did today is something we can take off the list, but we did do stuff. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Cool. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate the company.